What up, peeps? Welcome back to the flip side. This isn't gonna be a depressing video like last time, but, like I said last week, I'm gonna be doing another tier list, and I decided to do the Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, capital ship tier list. To me, the capital ships are special, because they're a really fun and unique concept. You get to go in, just blast shit all over the ship. Then you get to go in and just fuck shit up, and then the ship is yours for a few million credits. So a lot of these are sort of different, but that's why they're unique and special to me, because they're not like all the same. Although they do have the same soundtrack, but I thought it'd be a really fun video. But anyway, let's get into the tier list. Starting off with the Death Star, I'm gonna put it in B tier. I mean, it's the Death Star, it's a classic, but the outside is just a big ball with some lights representing the windows or something. Then you go in, you walk around. It all starts to sort of look the same. But at least you get to go collect a character. There's a decent amount of Kyber bricks to collect. But yeah, a pretty big map. It's you can walk around for like 10 minutes. But on the contrary. On the contrary, I'm actually gonna rank the second Death Star higher. I know it has like a worse interior. I mean, it has a worse exterior, but the interior is different. Even though it all sort of looks the same, sort of like the Death Star, you do walk into this one room, and there's some dancing stormtroopers doing a workout routine, which I thought's really funny because I'm walking around collecting Kyber crystals, Kyber bricks, and then I walk in to this awkward workout session with some stormtroopers in these weird outfits, which I thought was pretty hilarious. But, let's see. Actually, no, I changed my mind, because there's actually not a lot of Kyber bricks to collect, and you don't actually get to get a character. But and the map is smaller. The only thing good about the Death Star 2 is the stormtroopers. So yeah. All right, next I'm gonna rank. Hold on, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am going to rank the Executor top 3. Actually, no. I'm going to do it at A tier. I think it has a really cool exterior. I like the concept of it being like really long and big. And you got all the cannons on the top, and then you have the neon blue lights on the sides with all the other cannons. I like the lights in the middle. Anyway, so you walk in. The interior has sort of the same look to the Death Star and the Death Star 2. That's why it's in A tier. But there's a good amount of Kyber bricks to collect, but you don't get a character, unfortunately. But the map size is decent, so I'm gonna rank it A tier. I'm gonna put it in top 3. Anyway, next I'm gonna put the home one in A tier as well, because first of all, I like the exterior. I like all the different colors, the color scheme, and I like the shape of it. It sort of looks like it looks like a ship from Mon Cala, which is Admiral Akbar's planet, and it looks like a ship from there. Like, you would see a lot of ships that look like that. which makes it unique, you know, from the Executor, the Steadfast, the Venator, you know. So you go into the interior, and surprisingly enough, it doesn't have the same looking interior as the Executor or the Steadfast. The lighting's very bright, and the map has a decent size. Actually, no, it doesn't. Now that I realize it, the map isn't really that big. Although there is a decent amount of Kuiper bricks, you do get to you don't get a character. So that's really one of the only sad parts. Overall, A-tier ship, top 5. Next we have the Trade Federation battleship. I'm putting this one in the C tier. C tier because, first of all, the exterior, it looks kind of ugly. It looks like a donut, and the centerpiece looks ugly as well. The little towers in the back look like one of those drip castles I can make at the beach. So you walk in, the interior's really bleak and bland, and the map size is the smallest out of all the other capital ships. There's no character to collect. There's not enough Kuiper bricks for me to even feel like I spent enough time in here. So overall, bottom 1. Alright, next we have the Venator. I rank the Venator higher than the Death Stars because it's first of all, the exterior looks cool. I like the color scheme. But honestly, here's a flaw. Because it's sort of like the Executor or the Steadfast because of Palpatine's plan, you know, to make his own army. The interior is sort of modeled similar to the Executor or the Steadfast. It sort of has the same lighting, and yes, you have the deck where you can go and look out the window and blah 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 blah. But that's that. But the deck part with the window is the only reason why it's better than the Death Star or the Death Star 2. So overall, B tier ship. I like the home one better. And I'm noticing that I have some really unpopular opinions because you'll see why. Next I'm going to rank the. Actually, no, I'd put the Venator at A tier. Now that I changed my mind, bottom of A tier. I put the Steadfast at B tier. Steadfast because, you know, it's from the sequel trilogy. It all, like, it's the same shade of gray. It looks like if I stepped on a pyramid and it sort of inflated a little bit like a piece of styrofoam. So you walk in to the Steadfast and it all sort of starts to look the same. That's really some of the only flaws that the Death Star, the Death Star 2, the Executor, and the Venator have in common. Oh, and I'm leaving out the Trade Federation battleship because the interior is worse than all the other ones. At least the Death Star 2, Death Star, Venator, Executor, and Steadfast have a sort of intimidating look to it. But I really gotta stop saying I really gotta stop. Anyway, it all starts to look the same again. I'm starting to get I'm starting to get deja vu. The steadfast, I mean, it has a decent amount of kyber bricks to collect, but you don't get a character, and the map size, it's sort of small. Anyway, oh yeah, just like the Venator. The Venator's map size is decent, but moving on from the steadfast, we have my final top 2. And before I do my second best, I want to introduce both at the same time because it has a bigger impact. The ship that I like the best, and this is going to be very surprising to all my Star Wars fans and LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga players out there, but in my opinion, the best capital ship is the Fulminatrix. And second to that is the Invisible Hand. The Fulminatrix is better than the Invisible Hand because, first off, the interior looks very intimidating. You've got a color scheme of black and gray and red. I really like the red lighting. I really like the halls with the windows that look out to the ship deck. And when you were seizing the capital ship in the interior, you had these cannons that made it sort of challenging, unlike the rest. So, and the boss fight was better than all the other capital ships because you had the captain in an ATST. I think that's what it is, the two-legged walker things, the ATSTs blasting you, and you gotta throw grenades at them, which I thought was a really cool boss fight. Okay, stop saying Alright, I just said it again. The Invisible Hand is second to the Fulminatrix. Oh, and I'm not done with Fulminatrix yet. The Fulminatrix definitely has enough kyber bricks. There we go, saying again. The Fulminatrix has enough kyber bricks to make me feel like I spent enough time in there. The Fulminatrix, you can has the biggest map out of all the capital ships, but really the only downside is that you don't get to collect a character. So that's the only one bad thing about the Fulminatrix. The Invisible Hand, on the other hand, is one of the smaller ships on the inside. My favorite exterior design is the Invisible Hand. It looks really intimidating. You got like the black and yellow going on with the gray, and then you have the green. And plus, it's from the Clone Wars. It's General Grievous's famous ship. So, anyway, you go in, and the interior is really unique. Instead of having like the gray and white lights, you have a sort of darker shade. And you have a lot of different lights going on. You have sort of yellow, you have sort of green, and sometimes you have red. And there's also one room where you got battle droids doing a dancing routine, which I thought was really cool. Anyway, and then the Invisible Hand is the same ship that you go on in the Out for the Count mission in Revenge of the Sith, which I thought was really cool. The reason why the Fulminatrix, one reason why the Fulminatrix is above the Invisible Hand is because the Invisible Hand's map is smaller than it's one of the smaller ones, and I'd have to say that the Invisible Hand has one of the smallest maps. It's second to the Trade Federation battleship because it's all sort of condensed. They didn't need to condense it, in my opinion. They really didn't need to condense it. They could have, you know, still had all the hallways. If they didn't have all the hallways, I mean, if they had more hallways instead of condensed, packed in rooms, then it would be higher than the Fulminatrix. I would like the Invisible Hand better, but because it's a smaller map, I didn't really appreciate it as much because there wasn't really that much to look at. Sure, it had a really cool design to it, but I like a ship with a good enough size. And that's what I like the Fulminatrix for. The Invisible Hand, let's see. The Invisible Hand also doesn't really have enough Kyber bricks for me to feel like I spent enough time in there. You don't get to collect a character. And, what's one more thing? Yeah, that's basically it. So, this was one of my shorter videos. Oh, there we go, saying again. Man, today we had just storm after storm after storm. Gee whiz. The lights were flickering in my house all afternoon. The power almost went out twice. And, yeah, that's Florida weather for you in the summer. You gotta expect every single day when you wake up in Florida during the summer to expect some sort of storm in the afternoon. And I'm talking like late afternoon, 3 or 4. It's gonna come down. So that's an update from my life today. But what about you guys? Did you like my list? Do you disagree? If you did or did not like my list, leave it in the comments below and let me know what you thought about it. And let me know your rankings. But with all that said, I will see y'all next week back on the flip side. Peace. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to leave a link to this tier list so you can make your own tier list at home. So, once again, with all that said, I will see y'all next week back on the flip side. Peace.